Yes, I started at Inventia, or STFI as it was called at that time, in 1968. And we had an old pilot machine at that time, and we soon realized that we had to build a completely new machine. It was actually the first pilot paper machine worldwide which was fully computerized. Even if the FEX machine is the smallest possible to simulate real conditions, it's 5 stories high. I remember once we were making a rebuild and I happened to fall 6.5 meters, but I only broke my wrist, so I was lucky. Our largest pulp tanks are really used beer tanks from Denmark, and when transporting them to Inventia, they had to remove traffic signs downtown, because we are really placed inside Stockholm, and it's important to be close to the Royal Institute of Technology for our research developments. The width of our machine is the smallest possible to reduce the need for paper pulp and paper chemicals. But it has to be wide enough so we can really evaluate the paper products we produce. It's only 25 centimeters wide. This can compare to an industrial machine where it's 10 meters. It was thought in the industry that there were 2 types. One was roll forming with a constant dewatering pressure, and the other thing was blade forming with a much lower dewatering pressure. When I really started to analyze, I suggested that the blade forming was actually a pulsating dewatering instead of constant, and that's why it made so much better paper. And at that time, the machine builder involved, they had changed their mind. So 10 years after our first discussions, they published a paper in the Canadian meeting claiming now that they had the pulsating nature, and that was given the very good paper they were producing. Well, in paper forming, we start with a rather porridge-like fiber suspension, but this doesn't make a good paper. So we have to dilute it roughly 10 times to get it rather fluent, and then we can make a good paper. But then we must take away all this water again. That we do through this wire. This is a fabric which is weaved by very thin plastic threads. And there are small holes and water going through, and the fibers are staying on top of that. So this is the roll former. We have an even dewatering pressure. And up there you see the blue things. That's where we introduce the pressure pulses, which really makes the paper much more even and high quality. Well, many times when we have tried the new things, the industry people have asked, do you really think that this will work? But we have tried it, and maybe some adjustments, but sooner or later it has been working, and much of it is also applied in the industry today and accepted by all the machine manufacturers. Of course, it feels very good to be able to contribute to the development of paper industry.